Okay, so we're gonna start measuring our metal. So when you're gonna put on metal, you just need a couple tools. The first two that you're gonna need are a pair of snips and a measuring tape. You're gonna measure your wall to see how long your stick needs to be. You're gonna use snips to cut it. If you go and buy some, you're gonna see there's 3 different colors. There's green, red, and yellow. Red cut to the right, green cut to the left, and then yellow cut straight. It's the easiest way to say it. These are old, these are dull. I need to buy some new ones. When you get them, they're gonna cut easy. These are gonna probably be fickety with me because they're just not gonna always cut. And then I'm gonna do a variation of adhering them. So I am gonna use one with screws. I will use a staple gun, and I will mud some on so you guys can see those processes. So let's just get into the actual, sorry about that. Sizing it, okay? So what you can do is you can take your tape measure. It has a little lip on the bottom, right? Your little thing. What I like to do is just have that grab the bottom of the drywall, okay? I'm attached to the bottom of the drywall right now. I can pull on it and it's not gonna pull up because it's on the drywall, okay? I'm gonna go to here and I'm gonna say it's roughly 86. 86. So I'm gonna take my bullnose. I'm gonna stretch this on here. It's on here where the tape measure is at the end of it. I'm gonna pull it so it says 86. Okay. Take my snips. I'm at 86 here on my tape measure. I'm just gonna cut a small slit. I'm gonna cut another small slit. Then I'm going to cut it, okay? Now here's a trick that I want to show with the bullnose. Well, first, okay, so I said there's a gap here. All right, so there's a bit of a gap right here, okay? This one is flush, this one has a gap. So this one is going to allow me to be able to go right there, okay? Now, let's say I had another piece up here that needs to come in. Well, it's gonna hit. So there's 2 ways you can go about it. I wanna make sure you guys can see this. Okay. So there's 2 ways you can go about this. Because what's gonna happen is if you have to do a top piece, if you have to do a top piece, it's not gonna go into each other. So you're gonna wanna notch out either this side here, cut like a little radius, or you can cut a little radius here, so that way the other piece sits inside. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. So if I'm hanging the bullnose, like so, and I wanna put this one up to it, what I'm gonna do is eyeball where it's at, and make a marking. And I want to trim that out. Okay. So I'm take my snips, and I don't know if you can see this. I made a little mark here. I'm just going to trim out. Just a little mouth, right? I may have to adjust it, whatever. But what I want it to do, okay. I clean this up a little bit, but it'll sit in there. It'll sit in there a little bit better, right? I don't know if you guys can see that. So now, I'm gonna have this piece can slide it in a little bit better up there to give it more of its roundness. I'm gonna have to play with it a little bit to cut it out, but you get the general idea. You just want to cut something so the other piece can sit into it, okay? So you can sit into it. Okay, so remember I said that every mentor or teacher has their weaknesses and some have their strengths. Well, your weakness, if you learn from me, is cutting metal, okay? I do it, I don't do it a lot. When I do, I mean, I can fix it again with the taping part, but if I had any nemesis when it came to the hanging part, it'd be doing the metal. So another question that I thought of a minute ago was whose responsibility is it to put the metal on? Is it the drywall finishers or is it the hangers? It just depends. So here when I bid my jobs, if I'm doing the drywall hanging, obviously I'm bidding in the metal, right? That's material and labor to put the metal and install it. Some companies that I've worked for in the past, the hangers only hang the drywall and the tape embedders or the drywall finishers are the ones that have to hang the metal. So some guys are really good at it and that's all they did on the jobs. They had lasers, they had it down to science, and they could throw up all kinds of sticks all day long, right? But you know, I don't do a whole lot of it, and when I do, like I said, it ain't the prettiest, but my taping is what makes up for it. So I just want to throw that out there. If you're doing this professionally, it depends on who's running the job and whose scope it's under. Now, if you're doing it for yourself, obviously you're going to hang it, put the metal, and finish it, but I'm going to show you how to do that. Now, what I did want to jump back on and say is it took me a minute to figure this out because they sell little clips. So if you have, like, let's say a pony wall, which is like a divider wall, but you can still see over it. They have these little clips that go on the end of this, and they're actually made for those. So you don't have to try to manufacture anything on your own. You can buy these little clips. Side note again, yeah, I'm gonna say it. If you want to build a house, go to Costco. If you want to remodel, I'm sorry, Costco. Costco. If you want to build a house, go to Home Depot. If you want to remodel a home, or you want to dress up your home, go to Lowe's, right? They have more construction stuff that you're going to use at Home Depot. If you want to remodel or you're doing repairs, Lowe's will get you through. I use Lowe's a lot because it's just closer and more convenient for me to get my material. But when I actually need to build something, I'll probably go to Home Depot and get my materials because they have better materials and a better variety and array of things that you're going to run into on job sites that you're not on a regular remodel or room addition type of thing. Okay, anyways, so that aside. So what I ended up doing on this was I ended up cutting it at an angle, right? I did the notch like I had said, so that way this other piece can sit inside of it. But it ended up coming, if you can see, one side is higher than the other. And the reason is now, when I put it up there, that's gonna sit in there like that. Can you see that? Okay. So it's gonna kind of sit in there and give it a little bit. And we're gonna come in and we're gonna fix the bottom area with caulking or mud. You'll see what I'm going to do later with it, but now it's going to sit in there. I might even clean that up a little bit so it's a little bit more rounded and not so like I bit it off my tooth. But I just want to share that one with you guys. Little tip. All right.